Now, the concept and creations of Togolese spectacular architecture has for the first time been given space at the Venice Biennale. Now, it is one of the world's premier visual cultural exhibitions and alternates yearly between art and architecture. It shapes trends and can help globally magnify appreciation for historical craftsmanship and artistry of all kinds. Now it is Togo's turn. Well, the Togolese Pavilion was the brainchild of Sonia Lawson, who I'm very pleased to say has been able to join me on set today. Sonia, thank you so much for coming to speak to me. Now,
thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
I couldn't not when I found out that you were in Paris. Now, one of the things that was super interesting is when when we were preparing this conversation, one of my colleagues said, "Oh, it can't possibly be the first time that Togo is showing at the Venice Biennale," but it is.
It is indeed. It's the first time ever that we have a pavilion in architecture this time, and it was important for us to also showcase Togolese architecture and architectural heritage to the rest of the world. So it's really a first, but not a last.
What do you think the fact that it is showing, that you took this idea, had it accepted, had all the support you needed to make it happen, what do you think that says about what may be changing in the kind of global approach to culture?
I think that nowadays people are increasingly realizing the importance of being there and being part of the global conversations around architecture. And we are part of that in terms of sustainability, how to reuse, how to build in earth. So all these questions that are common to the rest of the world, we are part of it. So now people are increasingly understanding the importance of that. And I think that Africa has a lot to offer in terms of insight for that conversation.
So you think it's more about African kind of artistic and cultural communities and curators of that reaching more out to the international stage rather than the international stage making more space for African expertise?
I think it's both. It goes both ways, that the international stage is very curious to know and understand the uniqueness of Africa, but so it goes both ways. What I notice is that many countries, other countries from other pavilion, what is fascinating in Venice is that you have all the countries, so 66 countries, so many countries from other pavilions, so they came and were curious to discover Togolese architecture.
So what is so special about Togolese architecture?
It's a blend, and what is very interesting is that it has so many layers. So it has the traditional layer, which is UNESCO heritage site of Kutamaku, so the Tamberma. And their name is very interesting itself. The name of these people is that Batamariba, in their language, it means the architect of earth. So it's how they define their people, their own way to define themselves. So it's earth architecture. But we also have brutalist, modernist architecture that is often overlooked, and people don't necessarily know that we have that type of architecture in Togo. One of the striking examples is Hôtel de la Paix. Another layer is the Afro-Brazilian architecture built by the retornados, so the enslaved people that came back from Brazil. So we have many layers of architecture, many types of architecture. So it was important to showcase all this. And one of the topics, the main topic, is considering Togolese architectural heritage. When we say consider, is to take into consideration, but also look at it. Because it's
and who's doing the looking? Is this the work that you've done to bring this to the Venice Biennale? Is it to expand understanding amongst European audiences based in Europe, or is there some kind of echo with what is being done back in Togo itself?
It goes both ways. For us, it's very important to showcase the Togolese architectural to the rest of the world. First, but the second that is very important is that the Togolese themselves get to understand this architecture and know it, because it's not that well known even in Togo. So it was important for us to showcase the same exhibition in Lomé. So in Palais de Lomé, during this Venice Biennale time, we have the same exhibition regarding the architectural heritage.
It's an amazing bridge between the two.
Yes, but the bridge between the two, which means that people that can't travel to Venice can see it in Togo. Because what for us is very important, of course, is to have international and global dialogues, but also in Togo itself, have people be interested in the buildings, be proud of it, so that they can preserve it. Because
when it comes to creating more international dialogue about African cultural heritage, I know that it's a difficult topic to talk about because so today, Thursday, I understand that a real towering figure in terms of African art and architecture is being laid to rest. Coyo Huo, who I believe is a good friend of yours. Now, she passed away just at 57 earlier this month and was due to actually be the first African curator of the Venice Biennale next year. What, for you, is her most lasting legacy, and anything that you'd like to share of your relationship in tribute to her?
Coyo was an exceptional human being, exceptional in terms of personality, very unique, in terms also of vision and ambition for the continent. So she often spoke about radical solidarity between us. So she was based in South Africa, but also in Senegal, from Cameroon. So she was across the continent. And what she wanted to do was to build a network and bridges across the continent, because she had this very deep understanding that art and culture is an ecosystem. So to make it sustainable, we need to have all the steps and professional trained in terms of curation, exhibition design, and all these elements. So she was really instrumental in doing that. And so I'm very confident that her legacy will continue, and I will make sure on my end that it will continue.
Thank you so much, Sonia, for being so generous with a relationship that was very personal to you, but also really respected throughout the world. Thank you for making your time to come and share your work and also your memories of Coyo with us.